Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday's Bible lesson. You'll remember that yesterday we learned about the Israelites' journey through the desert on their way to the promised land and how God gave them food during that time, how He provided for them. And He did that through miracles, right? You cut out that story puzzle that showed the manna on the ground and the flocks of quail that He gave them. So God provided for them, and He provides for us too. Today, we're going to learn about a very special couple of days that happened during the Israelites' journey. God had a very important message for the Israelites and for us too during this special couple days, and we'll talk about that today. But first, let's begin with prayer. Let's begin with our now before prayer. Ready? Now before I run to play, let me not forget to pray to God who kept me through the night and woke me with the morning light. Amen. All right, 5K. So before we begin, I want to ask you something. I want you to think about something. Think about the rules that you have set up in your house. Maybe there's a rule where you have to pick up your toys when you're done with them, or you have to help clean up the table after dinner. Rules like that happen in all houses, right? Rules are set up by people who love us, right? By people who want us to be safe and healthy. Your parents and grandparents want you to be safe and healthy. So that's why they make rules, such as rules like putting on your seatbelt when you're in the car, rules that keep us safe and healthy. And God was in charge of the Israelites, right? And He had rules for them too, just like He has rules for us. That's what we're going to talk about today. That was the special couple of days during their journey, was God telling the Israelites about His special rules that He had for Him. And these rules were called laws. You may have heard the word law before. Law is like a very important rule, right? And also, these special laws are called the 10 Commandments. And today we're going to talk about the 10 Commandments, what they were, and why God gave them to the Israelites, and why He gave them to us too. So, the Israelites were journeying to the promised land, right? And they came upon a mountain, and it was called Mount Sinai. Sinai. Say Mount Sinai. Try it. Yeah, Mount Sinai it was called. And this is a very important mountain because it's the place where God gave Moses the 10 Commandments. And so Moses went up to the mountain because God told him to, just Moses. And God said to Moses, I want you to remind the people that I was the one who delivered them and that I am their God. Remember, the Israelites were getting kind of grumpy and they were complaining in the desert. And God needed to remind them that He was in charge of them and He was their God, and they needed to honor and worship Him like He deserved. And so Moses had to remind them of that. And the next part of the message from God was the 10 Commandments. So Moses went down the mountain and he reminded the people of that message. And he also told the Israelites this: you have 3 days to prepare for a very, very important message from God. You need to clean your clothes and get ready because there's a very special day that's going to happen in 3 days where God is going to have some important messages for us. So the Israelites said, yes, God and Moses are right. We need to worship God and put Him first in our lives again. So they got ready for that special day. They cleaned their clothes. And on the 3rd day, Moses went back up the mountain. And here's what God did. He told Moses the 10 Commandments. And at first he just told them to Moses. But then on the 3rd day, on that special day, He also appeared to the people. And He did this in a very special and powerful way. How He did this was there was thunder and lightning, a very big storm, and there was a very loud sound of a trumpet. so loud. The Israelites knew that this was a special day, but they were actually a little scared because God was showing his almighty power, and sometimes that was scary to see how powerful he was. But God still loved the Israelites through it all, right? And he did this because he wanted to show them that this is a really important message that I have for you. And so God told the Israelites the 10 commandments. Here's what they are. God said, obey these commandments. Number 1, put me first in your life. You shall have no other gods besides me. Do not worship idols or money or anything else, only me. God said, number 2, you need to keep my name holy. You need to respect and not misuse my name. Number 3, God said, remember the Sabbath day. Remember when we talked about the Sabbath day, the days of the week? That was the Israelites' day to worship, kind of like we go to church and worship God. He said, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Worship me. Number 4, God said, number 4, respect and honor your parents and the people that are in charge of you. God said, number 5, do not hurt or kill anyone, even if they're your enemy. Do not hurt or kill or harm anyone at all. Number 6, God said, do not commit adultery. Respect marriage. Live clean and decent lives. That's what God said for number 6. He said, number 7, do not steal. Don't take anything that isn't yours. Leave it alone. Only take what's yours. Number 8, God said, do not lie. Tell the truth all the time. Never lie. And then God said, numbers 9 and 10 go together. Number 9 and 10, God said, do not covet. Covet is a word that means to want something that isn't yours. So God said, do not be greedy and want something that isn't yours. Be satisfied with what you have and don't want things that aren't yours. So those were the 10 commandments that God gave to the Israelites. And he had a lot of other special laws for them too, actually. A lot of other special laws and rules that were for the Israelites. But the 10 commandments are special because they guided the Israelites' lives and they actually still guide our lives today. It's how we show thankfulness to God that we follow those commandments and then we try our best to follow those commandments, even though we don't, right? There's no way that we could follow all of those commandments perfectly. But let me finish the story. So Moses went back up the mountain a third time, and God gave these 10 commandments to Moses written down on tablets of stone. A tablet is, I'll show you a tablet. This is going to be your coloring page for tomorrow. You don't have to color this today. There's no assignment today, but this is what you'll get to color tomorrow. And this is Moses here, bringing it down from the mountain, Mount Sinai. And he has those tablets of stone in his hands. And you can see these little scribbles on them. That was the 10 commandments written down on those tablets of stone. God gave those to them, to the Israelites and Moses. Pretty neat that he wrote them down for them. And so that was God's special message for the Israelites that day as they were journeying to the promised land. God gave them a lot of special laws and he gave them the 10 commandments. And do you think the Israelites kept those 10 commandments? No, they couldn't because they were imperfect people, right? We heard them grumble and complain in the desert. They were already putting things before God. And do we keep those 10 commandments perfect? No. Yeah, we don't. We break those 10 commandments every single day because we are sinful people. But it's an amazing thing because God did not just give us those commandments and say, "Oh well, you broke them. You didn't keep them perfect." God sent Jesus to keep the 10 commandments perfectly in our place, right? God gave the 10 commandments to the Israelites, but he gives them to us too. And we don't keep them, right? We do bad things every day. But Jesus kept them perfectly for us. And therefore, since Jesus kept them perfectly, God sees Jesus' perfectness when he looks at us, right? Pretty cool. So that is a special story today where God had that very, very special message for the Israelites and Moses. This is a picture of all the Israelites when God appeared to them. Moses is coming down from the mountain. And after this happened, Moses had to go back up the mountain when he had gotten those tablets, and he had to stay there 40 days and 40 nights. And 40 is a special number in the Bible. It was a special number. So Moses had to stay there for 40 days and 40 nights. And then next week we'll pick up with what happened to the Israelites after that, the Israelite people. But tomorrow we'll talk about the commandments some more. And you don't have to color anything for today. You just had to listen to the story. So thank you for listening, kindergartners. I'll talk to you one more time tomorrow about the commandments. Bye.